Today, my friends, we're going to be taking a look at the best Town Hall 11 troop and attack strategy at Town Hall 11, which is going to be miners, no matter if it's hybrid or even the Queen Charge Mass Miner. We're going to be taking a look at both of these. So you may be wondering, why are miners the best attack strategy within the game at Town Hall 11? Well, the main reason is a couple things. Miners are just really prevalent right now, especially with the Hog Riders, and not just that, but the base designs definitely call for them more. But not just that, but they are very much, like, it's super easy because all you're doing now is using a charge, which has not been done as often in the past. But now you can use it really, really well and more consistently. And not just that, but you have the siege barracks. That just allows you to create a funnel on the other side by adding extra housing space. You're adding more than 25 housing space into your entire army composition, which is crazy. So that's really why the siege barrack is right now one of the more preferred siege machines, other than, of course, the Stone Slammer, which can still be used, and then also the Battle Blimp in the case of a Yeti Bomb. But other than that, realistically, the Siege Barracks is going to be your primary go-to for a lot of different strategies that work right now in the meta. So one of the biggest things is when you're looking at miners, you are primarily looking to get rid of the enemy CC. That's really important. When you're dealing with an attack like this, you are trying to look for that enemy CC. Whether it be a Lava Hound or anything, what you're doing is you're getting value from the outside of the base, and you're also getting it from the inside. What you're doing there is creating the funnel from the inside and the outside. That's going to allow you to sort of get some value from there. That way you can send in your miners like this after you've cleared out a solid funnel from either side. But this also means that you are trying to get rid of the enemy CC. Shouldn't be too difficult. You should be able to get enough access to that in order to get as much value as possible. So the biggest thing that we really want to sort of shout out in this one, and we will pause it from time to time, the biggest thing here to take away from it, from this example at least, is that you are going to try and create that funnel. So you're going to be using the king, for instance, on this side, create that funnel there. You are going to use a baby dragon to help create the funnel. You are going to make sure that you are entering into the base. You saw that wall breakers are being used because these tiles are like a 9x9, meaning that what we're going to be doing is using that wall break in order to break in, and then another jump in order to charge a little bit deeper into the base. So you'll see from there is that there was an ice golem, dragon CC, not too difficult. All we had to do was use of course, the poison to deal with that, and the rage, of course, to keep our queen alive underneath the enemy CC. And you can see as we're dealing with the enemy queen, we're going to use a rage spell there too. One of the biggest things as well that you may already notice is that there are 4 ground expos. That is the first thing that I noticed from this one, and sometimes they are definitely something that I try to, I don't want to go for, but this can still work against them. It's like no problem. 4 ground expos, no problem at all. You can use this really well. So you'll see that what we're going to do is we have an easy anchor over to this wizard tower for the miners. Then we're going to continue the funnel down here with the siege barracks. Once that's happened, you can see they're going to go straight over to this wizard tower, sending in our Grand Warden in order to go in with everything. Not sure why we used the heal on top of the queen, but most likely just to keep her alive since the healers were being pushed back. But you'll see as we're going in the rest of the base, we're making sure that we have our hogs going in with our miners like you see right here. So they're working their way across the base, as you can see, and that's really all you have to do with this. Even if the queen dies, we should have healers going in along with our miners. That way they can still get some sort of value from this. So you can still see that, very simple. We're going to use the Grand Warden's ability either towards the beginning, middle, or end of the attack. So you can see right here that we use that Grand Warden's ability to get that sort of invulnerability, and that just allows our miners to stay alive, clear up the rest of the base. That's all that we're going to be seeing from this example. Now, let's go and take a look at another example of Queen Charge Mass Miner. So here's another example, and what we're going to do from here is just break it down very briefly. So you may already notice that there is this really long channel right here that's going to split the base design. What we can actually do from there, this is going to tell us some information. So for one, all we have to do is charge here. So we just have to charge down here. So we want to start our walk. Let's put that line back up. So all we're going to do is charge in the base, maybe around here. That way what we're going to be able to do is deal with the enemy CC. We're also going to deal with the Eagle just fine. Not too difficult, and we should be able to get a lot of good value from it. What this is allowing us to do is create the funnel here with both the king that's going to go down along with the queen charge. And what's going to happen here is that then we can send in our siege barrack down this way, clear up some of these buildings, and then we can actually send in our miners to go in the rest of the base. Like you saw just a little bit at the beginning of the video in the introduction, this still works really, really well. So let me know if you guys are enjoying the video so far. I know it hasn't been too long, but please let me know if you guys are still enjoying the video. And also feel free to go ahead and subscribe and also turn on that notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. So now we're going to go ahead and actually take a look at this example. So the biggest thing here is that we want our miners to have easy pathing into the base. So we're going to be taking our time and using that queen charge in order to get as much of the base down that we possibly can. You can see that we have that king with the brand new skin from this month and easily being able to sort of create that funnel for the queen. And as you can see from here is that we're using a Mecha and a couple wizards as well. A Mecha is a great funneling troop as long as you place her away from the archer queen. That's just going to get you a lot more value. So you'll see from here is that now we're going to be able to use that king just to get some value there. Have our queen sort of targeting onto the lava hound. And what we're going to do here is we are going to drop a poison over there just so that then we are going to be able to sort of take out the lava pups there, which they will sort of surround that king. Actually, instead, they're going to move over to the queen. But since they are in kind of like a crescent shape, they are going to be very easy to take out. So you'll see that we're taking our time on the queen charge. But now, since we dropped in our jump, we're going to activate that eagle, but we are going to be able to easily take that out as well, getting into the radius of that eagle. Pretty simple stuff right here. And once we've taken that out, we don't have to worry about it anymore, and we're now charging into the base to get some value from there. Now we can stop and send in our siege barracks, as you can see right here, creating a funnel on this side. What this allows us to do is clear out these. This is going to give us some anchor buildings for our miners to enter in. Then a little bit later, we'll have our hogs sort of go in with the miners as well. So that's going to be the main priority that we have with our miners and everything else. So you'll see Grand Warden moving in, and now the Hog Riders from the siege barrack are going to pop out, and they're going to move towards that air defense, and they are going to get boosted by that Grand Warden as well. So as they're starting to send, or as they're moving into the base, keeping in those heals in order to keep them alive through those point defenses, through the splash buildings, that's really important. So stuff like bomb towers, the wizard towers, and multi-infernos are always going to be those big sort of things in order to, keep alive. Now you're going to see that we're going to pop our Grand Warden's ability right over all those hogs and the miners as well in order to keep them alive as they go through the rest of the base. Still, fairly simple stuff here, not too much to go through here, but still, very, very simple attack. It doesn't take too much time, and it's still a very simple way of 3-starring. Now we're going to be showing you guys some hybrid attacks that work really well right now in the current meta, and I would have to say they are right now the strongest Town Hall 11 attack strategy in the game. Here we go, guys. Miner Hog Hybrid. One of the strongest, if not the strongest attack in the game from Town Hall 11 all the way up to Town Hall 13. I am going to say this, it is really strong, and I think without a doubt, it is super easy to use. Of course, you need to have that access with the queen charge, but even that is still fairly simple as long as you sort of pay attention to your queen and know how long you need her to walk before you charge in. So we'll kind of talk about that a little bit, as I know some of you guys wanted that in the queen charge guide, but I didn't bring that to you guys, so I'm going to try and talk about that a little bit. So with that being said, what we're going to be doing is we're going to start our queen here, and she's going to walk in here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to drop in our, well, of course we're going to drop in our jump there just to get her in. But you can actually see from that jump spell alone, it's going to basically give us everything from this dead zone to maybe here. So of course we're going to be able to get all of this. That's a lot of good value there, and it's just going to allow us to sort of clear up the rest of this bottom section, which then just allows us to send in our miners and our hogs like that through there. That's some fairly simple stuff, and we are still dealing with the enemy CC. That's really common with this attack. Dealing with the enemy CC is going to be our top priority when we are using a hybrid attack. Other than that, it's super simple. It's still like a miner attack or a hog attack, but instead you're not looking too much on key objectives other than the enemy CC. So now what we're going to do is we are going to be taking a look at how we can actually take out a base design with a damage CC or really any type of CC in order to sort of get rid of this. So what we are going to be doing is we're creating a wide funnel in order for this queen to sort of enter into the base and still get some value. We're going to use a rage spell on top of our healers and queen just to keep her alive against that enemy king. Once we've done so, our barbarian king on the other side is actually we're using him to create the funnel on that side for the queen. That way what we're going to be able to do is funnel in our queen very easy like this. And now you can see that after we jump into the base, we're going to easily get some value from there. Just allowing ourselves to take our time with our queen charge, keeping her alive, using those rage spells really whenever. And you can see that we can even jump into that dead zone, still get some value from there. But you can still see we're getting everything from those two dead zones, including that sort of air sweeper compartment there. We can see that there is a baby dragon, Valkyrie, witch, and balloon CC, but we can easily deal with that with no problem at all. Super simple. Dealing with the enemy CC is really easy, and you're going to use a rage spell for that. Now you can see that we're dropping in the siege barracks here. That's going to be used to create the funnel over here, and now we can send in our miners, and then our hog riders move in as well. So now they're going to merge together, and they're going to work their way into the base down like this. Now some of those healers will move on to the hogs and the miners at some point, but definitely, as you can see right now, staying focused on the queen, keeping that charge alive and moving her way down this way as the miners work their way around the rest of the base. We popped our Grand Warden's ability just to keep everything around that around that sort of, ability, the life aura around him, keeping everything alive there, like the miners and the hog riders, in order to get through the rest of the base in order to 3-star it. So healing up those hogs and miners almost at the same time. Right now, though, the hogs and the miners are actually going in separate paths, so making sure that the miners stay alive are definitely going to be our top priority, as we do have a couple more of them than we do hog riders, other than the hog riders from the enemy from our CC. Other than that, we're going to be using our miners to get through the rest of the base. But that, my friends, is really going to be how you guys can use this. Fairly simple, not too difficult, and it's still a very easy method of 3-starring. Now we're going to take a look at one last example for you guys in order to show you guys the true power of how you guys can use this strategy. Last example, and we are taking a look at this against a island base. So if you are really interested in using this attack strategy against island bases, 100%, this works really, really well. I am going to have to say I was a bit surprised when I saw this one, because I didn't sort of expect this to work against an island type of base design. So this still works really, really well. So if we go ahead and take a look here, what we are going to be taking a look at is we are charging our queen into the eagle compartment. The main reason why is, do we want to charge in here or here? Probably not. So what we want to do instead is we want to charge into an area where our queen is less likely to sort of, we have to pop her ability or anything like that. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that our queen is still getting the value that she requires. So, or I guess for the entire attack, what we're doing is we want to get into this compartment here with wall breakers. What this allows us to do is actually clear up that entire area, and then we can drop in our siege barrack here, create that funnel here, then send the miners and the hog riders into this section. It's really easy because you can kind of see what I mean by this. The islands just make it really easy to sort of kind of see this, as once we're clearing out an entire compartment, all we have to really do is send everything in this direction. Now this is really important. You saw this throughout the entire video. You're going to deal with the enemy CC when you guys are using this strategy. You want to make sure that you are getting as much value as possible from this entire attack, and you really want to make sure that what you're doing is creating that funnel, and that's what's going to help going forward. So you'll see that now we're going to enter into this single target Inferno compartment, but we are going to keep that Grand Warden, keep him right behind him, just so that then he can use that life aura, his passive ability, in order to give them just a little bit more health. We'll pop his ability around that Tesla farm area just to keep them all alive through there. We have an extra rage, and that's where we're going to be able to superpower up our hogs and our miners to get through that section, and also heal them up as they move around the base as much as possible. Other than that, you can still see that it's a fairly simple attack strategy, doesn't really require too much, and you will see here that the queen is being targeted by the single target Inferno, but we're going to freeze that, and then the balloon is going to distract it so that then it does not target the queen again, and then you'll see that the hogs and the miners will come back up around there, swoop back in, and they will take it out. And that is really all that this example has to offer, but you guys can still see why this strategy is still really strong, and you guys can try this out against those base designs in your wars or even in the clan war leagues. But with that being said, guys, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, why not leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. Feel free to go ahead and let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see maybe these in their own videos again. However, please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this video, and let me know if you guys want to see some more in terms of other strategies. Also, feel free to go ahead and join any of the clans I'm covering within the description of this video. Feel free to go ahead and also join my community Discord and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and also on Twitch with the @corrupt_YT_ tag. Also, feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. And I will be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.